Well, good day here. My name is Addison Ford, MSW student at Grumman State University, and I will be presenting on today criminal justice values and ethics out of our chapter book 673 Ethic Decision Making course. This chapter was very interesting. I believe that I learned a lot from just reading over the material, and I believe that it's going to be beneficial. Well, let's jump right into it. Starting with my first slide here. This chapter explores ethical contemplation within the criminal justice system from policy, organizational, and individual professional perspectives. This presentation aims to provide an understanding of ethical issues in policymaking and at the organizational level, protecting clients' confidentiality in legal proceedings and ethical analysis of civil disobedience. Professional roles. Professional roles are very key when it comes to the values and the ethics of criminal justice and within the scope of social work. These roles vary, very different in obligations in terms of prioritizing autonomy, safety, privacy, and justice. But also the social workers within this context may be very proud of their values and ethics, but it is important to note that it is unprofessional for us to judge other professions that may have other deficiency values or ethics in terms of their role and their responsibility. So, in this particular part of the chapter of this topic, it is assumed by each profession that it is justifiable that they may have different values and approaches to ethical situations. Just to give you a little bit more in depth, we may not make certain choices or decisions pertaining to our clients as if a pastor would, or as if a lawyer would, or as if a police would, or a doctor. This particular area of professional roles, it speaks to that, it deals with that, and we have to again value and not judge other professions as having their deficiencies when it comes to their roles and their responsibility as a profession. In this chapter, it speaks about responding to subpoenas. Social workers may be required by law to disclose confidential information, such as when subpoenaed to appear before court and provide testimonies. This can involve bringing relevant case records, documents, various methods, or used to thwart disclosure of confidentiality client information at trials, but many are controversial. And what I meant by that is, and the book does a good job in giving us a case scenario and by which a social worker was subpoenaed to court, and yet this particular social worker had all kind of ideas of possibly not wanting to show up in court and possibly making up some type of justification of not showing up in court just to try to protect, because we do have a code in by which we protect our clients' confidentiality, and also to make sure that what they share with us, we keep that to a very limit. We keep that very limited, rather, especially when it comes to their records and so forth. But there are other things that the textbook speaks about pertaining to how, if you want to consult with a lawyer or an agency lawyer, and they can also give you insight or some type of direction in which you can go about doing it or responding to a subpoena. But the ideal thing is to respond because this is important when it comes to our criminal justice system, and especially if they have a legal documentation stating that we need to show up. It's a good thing that we do that, but also keeping in mind the confidentiality information, keeping that to a limit pertaining to our client. Okay, my next slide is ethics and policymaking. In policymaking, legislators play a crucial role in determining the legality of various activities and establishing appropriate consequences for those who break the law. These decisions should be guided by ethical principles such as social justice, autonomy, beneficials, and uh, non-maleficence. However, certain continuous issues such as marijuana possession or abortion can give rise to conflicts uh, that necessitate careful consideration of these ethical principles. Client confidentiality. An ethical consideration arises when working with involuntary clients within the criminal justice system. This involves addressing issues related to informed consent, self determination, advocacy, and confidentiality. The chapter stresses the significance of providing information to clients, supporting their self determination, advocating for their best interests, negotiating confidentiality agreements, and striking a balance, that's key, between confidentiality and public protection. So we know that when it comes to client confidentiality, as a social worker, there is some limitations when it comes to them being a harm to others or harm to themselves. Uh, and when it is found with evidence within that scope, then there are some things that we have to do differently to protect the public or that individual or those around them as well. Ethical analysis of civil disobedience. Chapter 15 dives into the ethics of civil disobedience within criminal justice system. It emphasizes the need for strong justification and careful evaluation of consequence before engaging in civil disobedience. This chapter exploits the balance between following the rule of law and challenging discrimination, promoting social justice, and considering the potential legal consequences and impact on social workers. Ethical responsibility. Professions operate within criminal justice system face challenges, concerns of their clients with the larger goal of public safety and justice. This entails them regarding potential consequences of their actions on both individual clients and society at large. They relentlessly strive to strike a balance to serve the best interests of all stakeholders. Uh, this is a crucial aspect because this balance is respecting the autonomy and the self determination of the client. Professions should recognize and uphold their clients' rights to make informed decisions about their own lives. This involves actively involving clients in decision-making process, providing them with relevant information and a range of options, and ensuring that any services or interventions mandated or obtained with the client's consent. By empowering clients and respecting their autonomy, professionals promote their individuals' rights and dignities, which deals with the NASW guidelines. In my conclusion, to sum up this chapter, it provides a comprehensive analysis of the ethical dimensions of criminal justice to navigate these complex ethical dilemmas. Professions must engage in collaboration with supervisors and attorneys, all the while upholding ethical principles such as autonomy, beneficiaries, and justice. By giving thoughtful consideration to ethics, these professions can effectively promote a fair and just criminal justice system that respects both individual rights and society well-being. Well, this has been the end of my presentation. I hope that I provided some valuable information that would benefit you and help you in the long run. Thank you.